good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon from beautiful Miami. My name is Maryam Isa Al Ali Zastipal. I put God first. This is my story, and I have a purpose. I help others embrace their authentic self to serve a bigger purpose. Everything I do in my life, from the minute I wake up in the morning to the minute I go to sleep at night, is a service of something bigger than who I am.
Yes, and my name is Alexander Zastipol. My purpose is to bring out the strength in others so they can take full control of their life and gain all rights to their existence.
So
Yes.
welcome, guys, to our Clear and Conquer Live. We look forward to seeing you every single Tuesday at noon here, Miami time Eastern Standard, where we're gonna take you through a topic that we're gonna get you clear and help you conquer at the same time. So without any further ado, let's get into the topic of today, which is
Yes, absolutely. So it's going to be about distractions.
Oof.
Yes. Do you get distracted? Ask yourself this. How often do you get distracted? We often have something that we're moving towards, something that we're going towards. But how often do you get distracted by little like noise and things that don't contribute to the big picture?
Yeah.
So getting right into it, I just want everybody to thank you for coming and showing up to this. And thank you everybody that's watching the recording. We appreciate it. And again, we're going to be talking about distractions today. And getting right into it, we're going to be going into 3 categories here. So there is the reasons for getting distracted. Okay, we're going to go over actually 3 reasons for getting distracted. Okay, and the distraction indicators. Okay, and then overcoming the distractions. Okay, so we're not going to just tell you about distractions and like what they are. We're going to show you how to overcome them and how you can conquer your distractions. Okay, so number 1,
Let's
the
go.
number 1 reason for getting distracted. Okay, number 1 is a lack of commitment. Okay, lack of commitment. And maybe you've heard the word commitment. Maybe you even said you're committed before. But a commitment is not something that's just in our own head, okay? It's not something that is just a thought. It is not something that you just say and then you're committed, okay? It's something that you do. It's an action. And a commitment is backed up by time, money, and energy, okay? There's something that we learned earlier in our mentorship journey, and it's backed up by time, money, and energy. It has to be all 3 of those things. If you're just putting time into something and not energy into it, I can be sitting on this live in front of everybody and putting time into it, but I don't back it up with energy. You can't not back it up with energy and put money into things to make movement. Okay.
Right.
So a commitment is backed up by time, money, and energy. So it's lacking that. Okay. That'd be the number 1 reason for lacking. Start getting distracted.
Right.
And anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, just a little thing. Like, I remember times when I was not seeing results in my life, be it financial, professional, or personal, because there was a lack of commitment somewhere. I would say, yes, I want that thing, but am I really committing all in for that? So, and that's what made the difference, to be honest.
Yeah.
Other than that, you just said it, commitment. So are you committing or not?
Yes. So that's the thing is a lot of times, like, this is the number 1 reason, honestly, is you just lack the commitment. It's the very first thing that you have to put in place towards anything. If for those of you that don't know, we're married. And if I was in this marriage and not putting actual actions of commitment and just saying, I'm committed, I'm going to get married. There's a huge difference between acting that way and just talking. Talk is cheap, is what I'm sure everybody heard that saying before. Yeah. Okay. And number 2 reason, I want to go right into the second reason. Okay. And by the way, feel free to take notes, everybody. Taking notes is one of the greatest things that you can do. Number 2 reason is we are conditioned to think in a certain way. Okay.
Oh my gosh,
Distraction number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Or the reason you're getting distraction number 2 is we're conditioned to think in a certain way. Okay. And what does this mean? Well, we've been told a lot of things in our life. Some we agree with, some we don't. But a lot of times, to keep the peace, to just go with the flow, we just follow the way that we were brought up. If we were brought up in one political way, we usually follow that way. If we were brought up in another way, we follow that way. If we were brought up in a certain environment, we're usually acting like that environment. Okay, like different cities have different environments in every country, by the way. They have different personalities, and we usually have that similar personality that initially wasn't ours. Okay, so like it used to be it's someone else's. Okay, so we're actually just not being ourselves. When we're our authentic selves and we're just being ourselves, we'll attract the right people. First of all, that you'll attract people like yourself, not like your environment. And you will become more focused on where you're going when you're actually being yourself. When you're being someone else, your mind knows that this, like, it's confused because you're trying to be someone else and you're trying to be yourself. You're trying to be your neighbor. You're trying to keep up with your neighbors. A lot of us fall into the trap of having to keep up with the Joneses, is the saying. Meaning that we're going and buying the next nice car so it can be nicer than our neighbors, a nicer house than our neighbors, all these different things that really don't contribute to flourishing and prospering and getting actual fulfillment inside.
100%. I love that. Actually, like, being conditioned is, maybe some of you guys think, you know what, I'm not conditioned. Ask yourself one question. How much of the things I think about are actually my thoughts? Like, the things that you say, even the things that you say, how many of them are actually yours? So I was growing up, when I was growing up and I was taking certain classes at school, I'm like, they were telling us certain things, the teachers were telling us certain things, and I'm like, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't, even as a kid, I felt it doesn't seem right. Like, there is something off with the thing that they were talking about. So it is the way we were conditioned. I was conditioned for a long time that, oh, you cannot go outside with your hair. Like, if people see your hair, they're gonna judge you. Make sure that you are fully covered up, because a good Muslim is always covered up. Don't go to events because there are men there. There were a lot of different things I was growing up with, and I was conditioned to a certain extent, and it was distracting me from the bigger goals. I've always wanted to get a PhD, let's say. But then, and my dream was, I want to get an experience. I don't want to do it in UAE. I want to do it outside, right? And I got accepted at this university in Georgia. And to be honest with you, like, I was very excited about it. At the same time, I was told, don't do it, because people will think 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll think, oh my God, they will doubt your intentions. And for a while, I used to believe that. I used to worry about what will people think about me, about words like the honor and bringing shame to my family. That was obsessing my mind. That was how I was conditioned to be. Until I decided to think well for myself. And again, we're going to talk about how ways to overcome distractions in a bit. But all what I want to tell you guys is that the way you are conditioned, the things you say and the things you do, and even the thing you think about, they might not be your own.
Yeah, think about it. Like, we were told things that we may or may not have agreed with. And think about it, like, you were brought up a certain way in a certain environment, whether you liked it or not. You were born in that environment. You didn't choose to be born in that exact location. So whether you liked that location or not, you were brought up that way. And we're born thinking really big, and we're saying all these beautiful things. Like, we look at life completely differently. You know, when we're 5 years old, everything's magic. Everything, like, you wave your magic wand and you make things happen. Okay, but when you become older, you're more conditioned into thinking like, you need to live paycheck to paycheck. You need to go get a degree. You need to go to college. You need to get married. You have to get married and have kids. You have to get the white picket fence house. We're conditioned to think that way instead. But when you're 5 years old, you weren't thinking like that at all, which leads me to number three. Number three reason why you're getting distracted is the goal isn't big enough. Okay. Oh gosh, yeah. When I was 10 years old, I was fortunate enough to take a trip to Las Vegas with my family. And I started dreaming really big. Like, I seen things outside of my environment. And that was an experience outside of my original environment. Okay. and I seen all of these, massive hotels, and that inspired me to want to in the future buy a hotel. I literally wanted to buy the Caesar's Palace, which is a, I don't know, $5 billion hotel or something like that. And no one was telling me at that time yet that that was impossible. But eventually people told me that it was impossible, and I started believing it, sadly. And I went through a period of where I started going downwards into a spiral. And I started losing sight of the goal, the goals that I actually believed in and that were my ideas. Because society told me that it wasn't possible.
Yeah.
People told me that it wasn't possible. My parents never really said anything. Like, they didn't say it was impossible, but everybody else was saying, like, that why would you want to buy that hotel, and all these different things. So I lost sight of the goal being big enough. So I lost motivation. I lost fulfillment. I lost sight of, like, I didn't really know why I was on this planet. I didn't, I was depressed. I had no confidence. I had no trust in myself. All these different things happened kind of because of this. Like I lost sight of the big picture of things. And when you have a very clear, defined picture, you're going to go a lot further. But not having a big enough goal is the third reason why you are going to get distracted by things. You're going to go off in different directions than going towards your definite main goal. And we're going to get a little bit more into this too, in how you overcome these distractions.
Yeah.
But definitely, if you're taking notes, make sure that you're writing these down, because these are reasons that you want to be aware of. And when you are aware of something, you can see it. But when you're not aware of these distractions, you're running life on a program, basically, and just going through life mindlessly.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't know these, you're just moving through it mindlessly.
Right.
Okay, so anything you want to add to that real quick?
I mean, thinking is small. I mean, even if you're gonna think about it, when you have these small goals, you have the small distractions, by the way. You'll notice this, guys. The bigger the goals, the bigger the distractions. The bigger you think, the bigger the distraction will be. And that's part of it. So I rather like get distractions that are big than distractions that are small. But again, when we get to the solution, you'll understand how you can actually overcome these distractions. So then we will notice that you have small distractions. Oh my God, I broke my nail. That's a small distraction. Or, oh my goodness, I have a lawsuit. See what I mean? So each single one of them are big problems, the big challenges, the big distractions. But sorry, the bigger you think, the bigger the distraction is.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go to the next
point.
point.
Thank you for that. And the next point that we're going to go over is the distraction indicators. How do you know if you're being distracted?
Yeah.
So it goes hand in hand with what I was talking about, but this is how you're very clear on knowing if you're being distracted or not. The number one reason is going to be that you are not committing consistently. Okay. And maybe one day you go to the gym, for instance, let's just use the gym analogy. Okay. You go to the gym one day, and then the next day you drop off. You go to the gym for 1 week, and then you drop off. And then you finally make it 2 months, and then you drop off for 6 months. Okay. This is not being committed consistently. Consistency and frequency. One of my greatest mentors have taught me this one thing, and it's gold. Consistency and frequency will lead to greatness.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're consistent and frequent at something, it will lead to greatness, because nobody is doing that. Right. So that is a secret that you can take and use in your life right away. If you become consistent and frequent at things that a lot of people don't do, a lot of people don't like to do, you are going to, for sure, guaranteed lead to greatness. It's bound to happen, especially if you don't quit.
Yes.
And when you commit consistently, okay, that is how you are going to get to those great things. But if you are not committing consistently, that is easily an indicator that you are being distracted in your life. And we're going to show you how to overcome that, of course, but it's definitely an indicator of how you are becoming distracted. Okay.
Yeah. That's the first of the 3 indicators, by the way. And guys, like, we already spoke about the reasons. These indicators, guys, if these are gonna be like tangible things in your life, you will see. Alex told you about the gym part, right? So imagine you are talking about, like, you can say that if you're going to the gym and you're not consistent, you're not continuing with that, you are being distracted. So that's an indicator. Even if you say, no, I am consistent with the gym, what is your frequency?
Yeah.
How consistent are you with going to the gym? And again, it's something that you can actually see and confront. It's right there. You see it, and you need to confront it.
100%. Yes, absolutely. And the number 2 indicator is going to be you are doing things against your own will. Are you doing this? Okay. This is just like this might be a hit in the face type of thing, because I used to do this. I know that. Like, I used to sit in conversations. How many of you have sat in conversations for 40 minutes and it's a toxic conversation? You know it's bad for you. You know they're just literally vomiting on your brain is what I call it. And they're just sitting there talking to you, and you sit there to be nice. Okay. And keep the peace.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're doing it against your own will. That is definitely a distraction. That has nothing to do with your goals. It has nothing to do with helping your own family. It has nothing to do with providing for your family or providing for your community. They are throwing up on your brain, and you're letting them. And maybe it's because they've been a friend for 10 years. Okay. But that's not okay. And that is a major distraction, and you should be aware of it. We'll show you how to overcome it, of course, but be aware that that is definitely a distraction, and there are ways to overcome that type of distraction too. It's very toxic. It might even ruin your whole day, your whole week. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, doing things against your will. Again, if I'm going to talk about my own situation, maybe many of you guys can relate to this. And by the way, it's not specific to a region or it happens. It's everywhere, right? So I remember being distracted by that when people were just telling me, again, I'm doing things against my will. I don't want to go to, for example, I don't want to go to a party. Oh my God, happens all the time. Auntie calls, Maryam, there is a wedding. I don't want to go. I remember I was a student. I'm like, I want to work on my research. Oh, Maryam, but they are our family. They might judge you. They will say you are not good. In your wedding, they will not come. Oh my God, every time. If you don't show up in their weddings, they will not show up on yours. I'm like, deep inside, I'm like, some people, I don't really care if they come or not. But the idea is, it was done against my will. I will go to the salon, do my hair, do my makeup. I don't want to go. I go buy a dress as well. I don't want to go. I go just to, it's against my will. Leaving another goal to do something I don't want to do, especially if this wedding or this occasion, it's not even someone closely who we know, right? So I'm causing myself inconvenience. I'm being distracted toward the thing that I want. So think about it, guys, from your own view. Are you being distracted like that? Like, are you like you wanna do something, and then someone is telling you to do something against your will? Oh my God, let's go to this new cafe, let's go to the beach, and you're trying to, as Alex said, keep the peace or be kind and say, you know what, I'll just do it, you know. But when you are doing this, guess what? You are being distracted from your family, from your business, or from other goals, you know. So that's I love that point.
Yeah.
So are you guys doing something against your will? That's the second indicator. And the third one?
Third one is going to be you don't have total clarity on your goals. I didn't say you have clarity, don't have clarity on your goals. You don't have total clarity. Okay? Total means 100% complete.
Yeah. Listen to this one more time.
Okay? You don't have total clarity on your goals.
Yes.
Okay, 100% clarity. And like it's always a journey of you know, reforming your goals, but the more you do it, the more clear you are going to be on your goals. Like Maryam and myself were extremely clear on where we're going, and we write our goals down twice a day. Because when you do that in the morning, right when you wake up, and then right before you go to bed, you are reminded about where you are going, and it shrinks the little problems that you're having that won't even matter in 6 months. Okay, like they're so small. Okay, and that you should not give those problems attention. You should give really big problems attention, and start moving towards bigger problems. Okay, when you give attention to little problems, you make those little things powerful, and they become big, and they aren't. Okay, so when you aren't totally clear on your goals, like this is definitely an indicator. When you're not totally clear, you're not going to even know where you're going in the first place. Okay, so like this is going to be very frustrating for you, because You're not sure if it's the right path. You don't know if this is the way you are going to be fulfilled. You don't even know if this is aligned with your own purpose, which, by the way, Maryam helps people find their definite purpose in life, which is the North Star. If you don't know these things, you're going to be lost. You're going to feel confused. You're going to follow everybody else because you don't know where else to go. You're just going to follow the sheep.
Right.
And the sheep mentality is a failing formula. It is moving you towards danger. You and your family towards danger.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a very dangerous road. 76% of people in America, anyways, live paycheck to paycheck, and I think that number is increasing too. The wealth gap is increasing. It's not decreasing. There's becoming more and more rich people and less middle class. Like the middle class is moving towards poor, not wealth. Okay, it's a failing formula right now. So for the sake of your own family and your community, you need to get clear on these things.
Right.
This isn't for us. It's not for even not just yourself. It's for humanity. Okay, it's really big. And you just need to get very clear on where you're going with your goals. And Maryam and myself, we're always getting more clear with ourselves. So if you have a spouse, if you have a girlfriend, I highly recommend that you go over these things at least once a week. We go over our goals for 1 to 1.5 hours, like a good amount of time, because we want to get very clear on them and be sure that we continue to be clear on them.
Yeah. And just to add a little bit here, when Alex says total, he means total. So there's a few questions I can share with you right now, and you can use these questions to see how clear are you about your goal. So the first one is, why do you want to hit that goal? Okay, why do you need to hit that goal? What is the reason for it? Number two, who can help you? Who can help you hit that goal? Because any great goal, you cannot do it on your own, right? For example, us going live here, we are going with Purple Circle, who is the CEO of that company, is our amazing friend William Figuerella, who is, we call him Wi-Fi. In Emirati, we call him Shaheen, because he sees things other people don't see.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot do everything on your own. So who can help you? Who can help you? Someone will need to help you. Who is going to be benefiting from this goal? Who you are going to be, if you hit that goal, who's going to be benefiting, right? Question number 4, how is this goal related to your mission or missions? If you guys took the purpose session, you know what I'm talking about. How is your goal related to purpose, to the reason for your existence? How you going to the gym is related to the reason for your existence. How is your business related to the reason for your existence? How is your purpose related to your cause, related to your family, right? So if you guys think about these questions, you're going to get clarity. If you don't know why you want to make $1 billion, you will be distracted. If you don't know who can help you, you will be distracted. If you don't know how is this going to be helping other people, your family, your community, your business, you'll be distracted. I promise you're going to be distracted. So this is what I wanted to mention here. So guys, just be mindful of these five questions here.
Yeah, 100%. And when you aren't clear on these things, you're going to make the decisions such as going out on the weekends. You're going to get drunk on the weekends. You're going to go, maybe you're someone that smokes pot with your friends. Whatever it is, you're going to get distracted by going to the mall.
Yeah.
When you know you should be working on your business, you should be working on your life. You should be working on getting more confidence in your life and more fulfillment, figuring out why you even exist. All these different things that Maryam mentioned as well. Like, instead of doing those things, you're going to be falling into the trap.
Right.
And then what happens is a 2008 or a COVID or a 2001 happens, where like all these big disasters happen, and you're going to fall into that trap, which is blaming all of those things when instead of blaming and taking responsibility, instead of blaming and playing the victim, you should be taking responsibility and preparing for things like that, because history repeats itself, that those things will happen. It will happen again, I promise you. And for the sake of your own family and your community and humanity, it's really important that you pay attention to these things. It's really important that you don't become distracted by all of these things. Your phone is another massive one. They want you to click on Instagram 70 times a day. They want you to do that. And what happens is you become conditioned to do that. You do it without even thinking about it. And it's not contributing to anything for yourself. My goal is not to watch more Netflix videos to make that person more wealthy. It's not my goal to watch 70 TikTok videos that are random people dancing around. Like, it's fine to do that sometimes, by the way. I'm not saying never do anything or never do any of that stuff. But those are all distractions that are put in our way to get to where we really could go and really have the potential to go.
Right.
Okay.
Love that.
So overcoming distractions is the next point we're going to go over. And this is how you apply things. This is because all of this information is great information. It's good that you know it now. And if anybody didn't catch the first part, you can go rewatch it on our YouTube channel here at Alex Zastupil. Just type in my name, AlexZastoupil. Just type in my name.
I learned how to spell.
Yes.
My last name now.
That's right. Yes. And so if you go and rewatch this, you'll know all that information. But all this information, we need to have you apply it and put it in action in your life. Like I said, a commitment's an action, not just something that you say. So this leads me to number one. The number one way to overcome distractions is, it's very simple, but it's not easy. Okay, it's increasing your level of commitment. Increase your commitment, and I promise you, you will have more results in your life. It's impossible not to happen. If you increase your commitment, which is an action, it's not something that you say. It's like you have to tell yourself it first, of course, but you have to go and do something about it. Okay, increase your level of commitment. Okay, so what does that mean? It means putting more time, money, and energy into the things that matter most. Okay, the number 3 point is, we're going to talk a little bit about goals, but if you're putting a bigger commitment into Netflix or your phone or toxic friends, what kind of results do you think you're going to get?
Wow.
Okay, and that's what most people are committed towards, because you're committed to something. You're committed to something, and maybe you're committed to the average life, which, like I said, is a failing formula. You're committed to being average. You're committed to something, and you have made a decision to be committed to that. Like that was your choice. We're not robots. God luckily gave us the freedom of choice. Otherwise, we would all be the same, and we would all be robots. Literally, if we didn't have choice, we wouldn't be able to make these decisions.
Right.
Okay, it's a freedom. It's a gift that He has given us.
Yes.
So when you are overcoming the distractions, just know, when you increase your commitment towards the things that matter most, you will get more results towards those things.
Right.
But you have to you always have to increase the commitment level. Like, that's something you're always looking at. How committed am I? Well, look at what actions you've been taking in the last week. Okay, what have you been doing? And you can even track your time, by the way, if you want to get really into it. I've done that. I've tracked how much time I'm spending on each thing every day. I would go log every single thing. Just if you want to do that too, you can do that. Overcoming distractions, that's number one. Maryam, do you want to add anything to?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
It's easy. It's as he said, it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
It is increasing your level of commitment. And again, if you're clear about them, look at the indicators. If you're clear about them, if you don't allow anyone to put ideas in your head, it's your ideas, right? And you commit toward them, go all in the right path, you're gonna get results. We promise you.
Yeah.
We have this group that we are so proud of. It is part of his accountability group. They meet him every single Sunday, and throughout the whole week, he holds them accountable for their success. And it's amazing to see, when people see a distraction and they recognize it and they keep committing toward the goal. That's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was in the group yesterday. She mentioned, I believe, she's trying to open a business, so to buy a business, but then there's a lot of paperwork, but she's not allowing that to stop her from buying that business.
Yeah.
So again, it's beautiful when you see people actually committing toward it, regardless of all the distractions they are getting. So if you are out there, this is a message to you. You are being distracted right now and you have a big goal. Keep committing to it. I promise you, your breakthrough is closer than you think.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Maryam.
You're welcome.
Your breakthrough is closer than you think. I promise that.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way, if the breakthrough is really big, you're not going to see it coming.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because it's so big that you don't even you can't see it. You can't meditate about it. You can't see the future about it. It's so big. This breakthrough is so big that you can't see it, because like if God showed it to you, you would start manipulating it and doing all these things to try to change it, and you maybe ruin it.
Wow.
So like there's big breakthroughs coming, but you have to keep on pushing. You have to keep on becoming more and more committed. You have to increase your level of commitment. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2.
Let's go.
Is to overcoming these distractions is making decisions based on your own will and what matters most to you. Okay? On your own will, which means you. And one thing that we've been talking about a lot lately is exist and be. Yeah. The definition of be, is to exist. And when you are actually being you, you can make decisions based off of yourself. But right now, most likely you're making decisions based off of what everybody else has told you, and a failing formula. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck, and that's who you're getting your advice from. Think about that. Yeah. Okay? Get advice from someone that's had successful actions, successful pieces of their life. They have the statistics behind it. Okay? And for ourselves, we grew our company from nothing to, we're going to do over $1 million this year. And we only started the company last year. Yeah. Okay. And that's because we're constantly doing everything that we're talking about here. We're always investing in ourselves. We're always learning more about how we can pay attention to the more meaningful things in life. We're always learning more about how to actually be us. Okay. I'm always learning more about who I am. Okay, because like I said, we were taught and we grew up a certain way, whether it was the right way or not. Think about it. There can't be only one right way, because if that was true, then billions of people would be doing it the wrong way. That there's a right way for you. Okay, it's not the right way of what billions of people are doing. It's what you are doing. Right. Okay, so be sure you're moving towards you and the way you exist. So if you actually start doing things with your own will and not listening to everybody else, of course, listen to advice sometimes, and we would love for you to take this advice for yourself, but this is a choice that you have. I'm not making you do anything. And when you're listening to other people, make sure you're looking at what their life looks like. Yeah. Okay. Look at how they're operating. If they've been toxic and talking like this their whole life, why are you still hanging out with those people? Right. Okay. Now, if it's family, completely different. I never say just disconnect from your family. That's a whole process. That's a personal decision. Let's just say that. Yeah. But friends, you can warn them, you can confront them, and all of these things. Okay. But if you're taking advice and doing things against your own will, you're going to start moving in the wrong direction. I promise you that. What do you have to add to this?
100%. Again, see how much you're going against doing things against your will and do things with your will. Alex mentioned something like, when we opened our business, I opened my business back in 2018, right? It was a business in Dubai. Alex opened his business last year. When we came together as partners in life and in business, we combined it. We combined not only as not as an entity, but also our experiences. He has a lot of experience with tactical parts, with copyright. I have experience with running live events, doing programs and stuff like that. So when you are actually doing something with your will, you're gonna find your natural gifts, as we do. When I help people with their purpose, you're gonna utilize your natural gifts. Wow. Your gifts are from God. Any gift that is given to you by God and you sharpen it becomes a talent, right? So imagine you are utilizing that, and it's gonna make you successful for your business, for your life, and for the community you are in. This is the only thing I would like to add. But definitely, when you are doing things with your will, you see it going to places for sure.
100%. Yeah, thank you for that. Using your actual gifts, and you're going to find those things out. Yeah. And Maryam will help you find those things out in less than 6 hours. So like if you're not certain about your gifts and like what you're good at in this planet, we can help you with that for sure. Like that's something Maryam's been doing for over 10 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
Just one thing as well, like we added something new in the purpose session. It is called life orientations. It's an assessment from Japan. And with that, I mean, you could say, I don't know what my gifts are. But when you take that assessment, it's going to show it to you. And again, but again, it's a guide. It's not everything. It's just a guide for you to see it tangible on paper. And then when you come to the purpose session, you have an idea. So that's also another thing I just wanted to mention here, because you guys have more gifts than you think you do. You have not one or not two. And if someone told you are gifted at one thing or you have passion in one thing, they are limiting you. And you are not only the physical body. You are more than that. You are a soul. You are soul. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yes.
I don't want to get into soul right now, because once I get into spirituality, gosh, we're going to talk about this for like a week. Non-stop.
Yes.
Go ahead, please, go ahead.
So exactly, like we have a lot of tools that can help you grow, and you can take that personality test, and it's going to tell you a lot about your behaviors in like behavior test. Yes, sorry, behavior test specifically.
Yeah,
yes.
It took me a while to grasp it, because if you have taken a personality test before, you'll be like, oh, I am like this or like this, but behavior tells you in what we call them favorable conditions, like everything else is being equal, you are very, like you have a certain way of coming up with decisions, you are utilizing certain gifts. When you are in unfavorable condition, means you are under stress, you are being pushed around, you're not being yourself, you utilize other gifts. Some gifts come out in the time of crisis, but they don't come out in the time of comfort. So how can you utilize these gifts that you have in the time of crisis in the time of comfort? So that's again another thing that we can definitely help you with, for sure.
Yes, and take advantage of the resources that we have taking a long time to start figuring out. Like we're gonna shorten your growth rate. Okay, like don't try to do this by yourself. Like that is a formula that everybody else is doing, and like I said, average is a failing formula. So start doing things and start acting in different ways that other people are doing, so you can prosper and flourish into the person that you deserve to be.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have one more that we're going to give you here. And again, thank everybody for joining us here. But get clear on all of your goals in every area of life. Okay. Consistently every day. Get very clear on your goals every single day. And how you do this is literally writing your goals down in the morning, right when you wake up, and at night. One of our mentors taught us this, and we've used it ever since. And then what we added as well is we dream create every single Sunday. Maryam and myself, not only do we become more aligned as a couple, but we get clear on the destination. And if we're already clear, we're getting we're affirming where we are going, because there's so many distractions on this planet. The statistic is we think about 70,000 thoughts a day. 70,000 thoughts a day. So imagine these few ideas. How is there room when you're thinking about 70,000 things a day? So that's why you have to remember these things every morning, every night. Okay. And then you dream create. We find out where we want to go with our business, where we want to go with our spirituality, where we want to go getting closer to God, where we want to go with our families, where we want to go with our relationships in our lives, our friends, and then what kind of vacations we want to go to. You can do fun things with this too. It should be fun.
Yeah, I told Alex about what I want.
Yes.
I want a closet.
Yes.
No, not a normal closet. I want like 5 floors.
Yes.
Floor number 1, I already have the image in my head. Okay. Floor number 1 is the makeup. Put my makeup, and then I go to the 4th floor. I choose whatever I'm gonna wear. Yeah. Okay. And then the next one, I'm going to be choosing my shoes, and then I'm going to be for the one after it, I will be choosing my handbag, and then the last one is going to be just mirrors, just to make sure everything is perfect. See, 5. Like, I mean, I didn't even think about this like this because I've always wanted a big closet, like a house, right? But then when we started dream creating and wanted to see who else has these closets, I was inspired. I don't know who she was, but she has like a three floor closet, and I'm like, I want one. What is the sequence? So, guys, dream. Allow yourself to think big. And this is only imagine. This is the materialistic part. Imagine about spirituality. Imagine about your relationship goals. Imagine about like your like the things you want to do for the business or the thing you want to do for humanity. He wants to help 1 billion kids with education. I want to help all the girls dance with their soul, right? And these are the things that like these are our dreams. Some of you guys are, the reason you are not sharing your dreams is whether they are too small or you are ashamed of them. You know, oh my God, you want to do a closet? Yes, I want to do a closet. I want to help also I want to help all the girls dance. Allow yourself to dream big. Again, if you are not thinking for yourself, if you don't have the will, you allow other people to think for you, and you allow them to just put ideas in your head, you will not get anywhere, because people can tell you whatever you want, and because you don't want to think for yourself, you just put it in, and it becomes a thought that is not your thought, and you start doing things you don't want to do because it's not you. It's not you. Yeah,
exactly, Maryam. So dream bigger. Okay, that's what she's saying. Allow yourself to dream big. There's no reason why you shouldn't be doing that. It doesn't change anything if you're dreaming small or dreaming big. Like, it doesn't cost anything. Okay, like you should allow yourself to dream big, because when you're dreaming small, that's what everybody else is doing, and it's not fun, and like it's not going to get you anywhere. Your life, it's not going to be exciting to work really hard and work longer hours than everybody else and do more and become wealthy and all these different things if the payoff isn't worth it. Okay, if you're working for like everybody else, ending up with $250,000 in a 401k by the time they're 65, which is $10,000 a year. Can you live off of $10,000 a year? That's where most people are headed. How is that supposed to be exciting? You know, like, why would you be motivated to go to your job? And a lot of people are working at a place that they hate. Okay, when you start doing these things, you can learn how to find your purpose and then create a business based off of your purpose.
100%.
Like, you can find something that's aligned with who you are versus working at a place that you hate.
100%.
Okay, so yeah, that's what we wanted to teach you guys today, is distractions. And just a brief overview, and then we're going to end it here. The reasons you're getting distracted. Okay, we're going to go through this one more time for you. You have a lack of commitment. You're conditioned to talk and act in a certain way. The goal isn't big enough. Okay, that's number 3. Which one of these 3 are you being distracted with the most? That's what I want. That's what I want to ask you. Okay, like, how is this distracting you the most out of these 3?
Yes.
Okay, which one is it? Because it's important to be aware of this so you can change. And then an indicator, just to help you out here, is you're not committed all of the way. You're not committed consistently. Okay. And number 2, you're doing things against your own will. And number 3, you don't have total clarity on your goals, complete clarity. Okay, so which one of these 3 categories are you being distracted with the most? You know, like, ask yourself that, write it down, put it on a piece of paper, and keep it for this week, and start paying attention to it for the week. Okay, or for actually forever, until you fix it. And the ways to fix it is, number 1, increasing your level of commitment. Okay. Number 2, starting to doing things with your own will, making decisions based off of who you are. Okay. And number 3 is getting extreme clarity on your goals, total clarity every single day, and then on the weekends as well, like we mentioned. Dream creating.
Beautiful. I mean, if you guys, every time, I also, one more thing here, guys, I hope you've been taking notes, because every time you come to an event or you go to a workshop, you should be very intentional about what is it. Don't say, I want to learn, improve, find answers. This is very It's all over the place. What do you want to learn? What is the topic you want? What is your intention? Even like if you're going to a conference or an event, write your questions down. Say, you know what, I want to meet that speaker. Great. And then do what? You have to be very clear. Like our mentors, like I know every time I go to their events, I just have the questions ready, you know? And these questions, like whether I meet them or not, I have the question ready. So I want you guys to be mindful of that. We hope that like we know that you are getting value from this. All what we want you to do now is even take one piece and implement it for the next week.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to end it here, and thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you everybody that's rewatching.
Thank you so
Yes.
much,
Follow us on our social media pages. We would love to stay connected with you. My name is Alexander Zastapel. It's Alex Zastapel on Instagram. She's Miss Maryam Ali on Instagram.
Yes.
And then if you're on my YouTube channel, you can subscribe there. So you can keep on seeing our content, but also Clear and Conquer Live, clearandconquer.com/live. That's where you're going to get all the notifications, okay? We're going to go live every single Tuesday at noon Eastern and 8 p.m. UAE time, okay? So be sure to join us. This is completely free. You should join us every single week so you can learn and grow and expand in the person you deserve to be. Again, clearandconquer.com/live. Join us there and you're going to get notified to be updated with all the information that we are going to be sharing with you.
And with that, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for investing in an hour of your life with us. And may the knowledge you take from us today, you go ahead and implement. You help someone, you help yourself first, and you help the people around you. And remember, when you get better, the whole humanity gets better. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.